Okay, in this lecture I'm going to talk about overloading the relational and comparison operators, also as member functions. So just as a reference, I have the slide again, binary operator overloading. Okay, so then here is the redefinable relational and comparison operators. You have the equality operator, the inequality operator, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, and greater than or equal to. So when you overload these operators, they will typically return a boolean as opposed to a user-defined type. Okay, I'm going to use the entity class for this example again. It has a constructor with a default argument, which is set to 1, and I'm just demonstrating with a single member. I'll start with the equality operator. Now with the equality operator, if we go and compare two entities and their members have the same value, then we return true from that. Okay, so this is going to return a boolean. It's also not going to change the calling object, so I qualify that as const. Okay, and this is basically what it is going to do. It's going to compare those two, the member of the calling object and the other member, or the member on the right hand side. If they are equal, so if they have the same values, then return true. And then we can also do inequality. And that will look something like this, so very similar. We just change the operator from equality here to inequality. Okay, in main I have two entities already, entity 1 and entity 2. The members of those will both be initialized to 3. To test this, I'll just write a quick if else statement. So if these are equal, print members are equal, otherwise members are not equal. Build and run and you should get members are equal. I'll change the argument for entity 1 to 4. For entity 1 the member will be 4, for entity 2 the member will be 3. Build and run and members are not equal. Okay, so that works fine. Swapping things around using Ctrl-Shift-V. Okay, I talked about that in module 101. So if entity 1 is not equal to entity 2, then we'll get this. Members are not equal, otherwise we'll get members are equal. Members are not equal. Change the argument for entity 1 to 3, so they match. Build and run and we get members are equal. Okay, so a few more tricks. We have this operator overloaded, the equality operator and the inequality operator. Now here what we can return instead of doing this. Alright, so we can do something like that. That is easier to read for you. And I'll just pull and run and this should work fine. Members are equal. Let's just check those are equal. This works fine. We can do something like this. Okay, so if these two are not the same, pull and run that and that works fine. Of course, you can test this using different values, passing in different arguments for those constructors. And here's a quick example of the less than. So operator, the less than symbol. If the member of the calling object is less than other.member, then it's going to return true. Okay, just a quick test. We can build and run and we get not less than. So for entity 2, I'll set that to 5. Build and run and we should get less than. Okay, so it should be easy for you to go and overload the remaining operators in the table that we discussed previously. Okay, in this final example, I'm going to override the equality operator again. But this time I have two members in the private section. I just call that member 1 and member 2 just for demonstration. I've updated the constructor as well, so now it takes in 2 arguments and it has default arguments as well. But remember, with the overloaded operator, this returns a boolean. What I'm going to return here is this. Now I added a bunch of parentheses to make it easier to read. Member 1 of the calling object is the same as the other.member1. And then we want to do and member 2 is the same as other.member2. dot member 2. Okay, then in main I pass in these arguments for entity 1 and entity 2, so 3 and 2 for entity 1 and 3 and 3 for entity 2. Okay, and here I use that operator again. Members are not equal. Build a run again. They should be equal now. Yeah. So 3, 2, 3, 2 for both of those, passing in as arguments. And of course you can test these using different combinations just to make sure. Okay, and this will work fine. So that's basically what I wanted to highlight here with multiple members. So you can maybe try something with a vector 2D or 3D struct as well. But here we are returning a boolean, so it's important to make sure that we use and or and so on to make sure that we get a boolean back from that. Okay, so just a bonus section for you. I hope you found this lecture useful, and I'll see you next time.